Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Paloma, my artist name is palomathepeach, and today is a little bit of a design with me, a little bit of a more in-depth look into what goes into making products. Specifically, today I'm going to be talking about what it was like to make jewelry in collaboration with Keston. So if you didn't know, I did come out with a jewelry collection with Keston, and it consists of 5 charms, and I'm super proud of them, so I hope you guys love them. But I kind of wanted to talk about the process, how it was in the beginning, what samples look like, how it was to kind of translate my sketches and my ideas into charms, the sampling process, and everything else that kind of like envelops the product creation journey. So firstly, I was approached by Keston, and Keston is a jewelry and women's wear brand. They have a flagship store in California. I'm in Texas, so I cannot visit them unfortunately, but I was approached by Keston and I had already heard about them through Apple Cheeks or Tiffany, and Tiffany had actually already done a jewelry collection with them, so I was pretty interested in kind of what that entailed and what it would look like if I decided to collaborate with them. So when brands reach out to you for stuff like this, typically they will try to book meetings with you, like Zoom meetings, just to kind of like go over everything, because a lot of times every single detail is just too much to put over an email. So I met with Keston and they kind of broke everything down for me, and I was pretty nervous at first because this is something that I had never done before. I've never produced jewelry. I've like practiced making little clay earrings and stuff like that, but that's all handmade and it doesn't have anything to do with dealing with manufacturers or samples or anything like that. So I was honestly really nervous to start this with Keston, but I was really excited because as far as with my art journey and my career journey, I feel like whenever I am nervous or I feel like I can't do something, it's important to push myself out of my comfort zone and at least try, because it's how we grow and it's how we get better. So I decided to go for it, and this was back in August, I believe, is when they first reached out to me, like beginning of August. Like I was really nervous, but then once we started getting the ball rolling, I was getting more and more excited. And then I met with Stephanie, which is the like creative director slash designer of Keston, and she was the one that was going to be working with me on this collab as far as like samples and design and colors and ideas. So we kind of met just to get the ball rolling, and I was also able to kind of see and feel out more of Keston's vibe and aesthetic, I guess, and then I was kind of able to see how we were going to be able to mend my aesthetic with their aesthetic and make this collab work. So basically we kind of went over logistics as well. Like we wanted to do 5 charms. I kind of talked to her about, you know, the stuff that I'm into, and we also discussed like marketing and stuff, because that's always going to be a thing when you come out with a product with another company. So it was finally time to brainstorm charms and ideas and concepts. I knew that when it comes to jewelry, I tend to like more simple stuff, but if we're gonna go a little bit more embellished, I do really love vintage and antique inspired stuff. I just love a good grandma vibe, and that was what I wanted to go for, but obviously a little bit more elevated to match Keston's brand. I also really wanted this collection to feel authentically me and like myself, and kind of like you guys could get a piece of my style and myself in these charms. So I really wanted to focus on looking at my past work and kind of seeing repetitive motifs, and I'm sure you guys looking at the charms, you can be like, of course all of these charms scream Paloma's artwork. I also kind of wanted to keep the colors again within my art realm. So you guys know I really love warm colors. I love green, I love reds, oranges, pinks, just like really warm autumn colors. That is what I feel best in myself, like style wise, because this is jewelry, and also just in my art in general. I wanted to keep that theme tied in. So after I kind of knew the direction I wanted to go to, vintage or antique, and also tying in my art, I did go on Pinterest a little bit just to kind of feel out a little bit more of my taste in jewelry, specifically like necklaces and bracelets and stuff like that. And I created a small Pinterest board just to kind of get an idea, to get a vibe of what I wanted to go for, and then I could show it to Stephanie and we could meld the two vibes together. So I kind of went through that, and then Stephanie had me brainstorm charm ideas, and I came up with a very long list. I don't remember it exactly, but I came up with the list and I'll have it here for you guys. And then Stephanie was able to help me pick out exactly which ones would translate well into charms. So we had come up with the beetle, the dagger, the peach, the cowboy boot, and then I wanted to do a tiger, just because, you know, I love cats, I love animals, and I thought a tiger would be a fun way to kind of elevate that. So those were the ideas that we started off with, and I totally agreed. I thought that all 5 of those really balanced out, you know, every aspect of my art, every aspect of the stuff that I love. And then when it came down to sketching, I was really nervous because I was very like, I don't know if I have to put it in a certain format for samples or if I have to use a certain color palette. Like I was completely just like, I did not know what I was doing at all when it came to creating sketches for Stephanie, but she let me know that it was fine, and I just created some really crude sketches of kind of what I was thinking as far as charms. And Stephanie was able to take those and make them into little mock-ups. Basically, I just had to like approve the mock-ups or not approve them. And as far as the ones that Stephanie had showed me, I really loved them. With the beetle, we kind of went a little bit back and forth. And since Stephanie knew that I really loved antique vintage themed stuff, she suggested that we do kind of like a super almost gaudy, like brooch inspired beetle charm with like the hand poured enamel and like the bedazzling and stuff, just to make it feel really luxuriously antique, if that makes sense. So she had suggested that, and the sketches she came up with for that was really beautiful. I was like, totally, let's do it. And then eventually when it came to the sampling and mock-up process, the tiger didn't really make it. It just wasn't translating well into a charm, so Stephanie went ahead and did the locket, which I'm so glad we did that because it's absolutely beautiful. It's one of my favorites, and it is a fully functional locket. It has like forget-me-nots on the front, but yeah, that's kind of like what the sampling process was like. It was mostly on Stephanie's end, and she really helped me feel confident in how I could help in that process, because that whole aspect of manufacturing is completely foreign to me. So really, again, the only samples that didn't make it through was the tiger, and then the peach. The first sample that we had was very tomato looking, and also the color of the gem was way too white, so it just was not translating as peach. So that was the only one that we didn't approve. But other than that, the other ones looked great, and we were kind of ready to start moving into, you know, the actual launch. Throughout this whole process, from the initial meeting all the way through the launch, it's definitely been a roller coaster for me as far as motivation and confidence. I think a lot of us artists struggle with this, but I tend to struggle with a lack of confidence and comparison and not really knowing if what I'm creating is good enough. And I think that's something that naturally happens when you mend capitalism and creativity. It's natural worries that you think about, but it was definitely a roller coaster for me. And I think physically seeing the charms and then preparing everything for the campaign, like the actual launch, really helped me push through that. And also getting to show my friends, because I gave some of my friends some of the charms too, and getting to see them like really appreciate them and tell me how beautiful they were was like another layer of reassurance, knowing that I really did put my all into this, and it also really did translate who I am as an artist into these charms. I also wanted to work with Keston specifically because they are family owned. They are not a large jewelry chain. They do not have stores all over the country or all over the world. They just have their one store and they handle everything themselves. It is Stephanie and her brother, and it's just one single designer. They're not churning out, you know, thousands of designs every year. So I knew that working with them would feel really authentic and help like really get my vision to life. Just getting to work with another female artist and knowing she has a small business, I have a small business, I'm also a female artist, just felt like a really meaningful and again like authentic collaboration. And I love that this collection has been able to manifest that, all of that physically. So now getting into a little bit more of the specific charms and like the materials and stuff. So Keston's jewelry is nickel, cadmium, and lead free completely. So it's not gonna smell, it's not gonna turn your skin green, which is really annoying when it comes to jewelry, especially necklaces, because I don't like to really take them off. So you don't have to worry about your jewelry, your charms like fading or just, you know, getting really gross really quickly. So Keston's necklace system is a little bit unique and I really love it. And basically you can select your chains and your charms separately. You don't have to pick a whole necklace and not be able to choose to mix and match. So I really love that. You can choose as many chains or charms as you want and you can pile them up together on one chain. You can get 2 chains and 2 charms and kind of mix them around. So that's something that's really unique about them, and that's also kind of why we wanted to do 5 charms. Okay, so now getting into like specifically the charms. The first one, which I think is the most obvious that I would do, was the peach. So the actual peach, like the fruit aspect of it, is actually 100% rose quartz, and because it is a natural hand-carved stone, no 2 peach charms are the same. They're all going to be a little bit different, so I love that. And again, it's hand-carved, which is crazy, and that was really the only route we could go because again, the first sample was just wonky and not really looking right. So, and I also again love that it's rose quartz because I'm a huge crystal girly, and so if you're a crystal girly, this one is perfect for you. Next is the dagger. The daggers are another huge thing for me. I love them, especially like antique daggers that are super embellished and like beautiful on the handle. So I wanted to bring that in, and so did Stephanie, and we kind of melded our 2 vibes together. I'm a little bit more edgy, I'm a little bit more masculine, and she's a little bit more femme, and she likes some sparkle. So we designed the dagger and we wanted to do heart motifs on it just to kind of again contrast the masculine and feminine. And it's super lightweight. It doesn't seem like it would be because it's a pretty big dagger, which I love because I find that dagger jewelry, sometimes the knife can be really small. So I love that this is like a substantial size, and again, it's very lightweight. Like it doesn't feel too heavy when you're wearing it. And just the fact that we were able to get like a tiny little heart gem on the handle is perfect because the part of the dagger that combines the blade and the handle is my favorite and also the most important. So again, I love that we were able to do a tiny little gem on there. The lockets. So the locket again is fully functional. You can open and close it, and it has little tiny like picture holders on the inside, which I love. I still haven't decided what I want to put in there. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be like a picture of Salem and Clementine and then a picture of Ollie, and it'll be in there close to my heart. But I love that we did this one. Like I said, like I'm totally fine with the fact that we did not do the tiger. I love this locket and a lot of people really love it too. It has little forget-me-nots on the front with a heart, which I thought was a really nice touch that Stephanie added because forget-me-nots are flowers again that kind of symbolize don't forget me. So it's like it's a really nice like loving piece. I feel like that one you can truly feel the essence of it. You can also put other stuff in there, like it doesn't have to be pictures. You can put little dried flowers and leaves. You can write little notes to yourself, or if you want to give it as a gift, you can write a little note to somebody and put it in there for them. The beetle. So again, I think Honestly, I think because of the effort that was put into it and just the uniqueness of it, I think the beetle is going to be named my number one, because Stephanie just came up with such a beautiful idea for it, and I was like 100% yes. So each little body of the beetle where the iridescent enamel is was hand poured to make sure it was nice and smooth, and these stones that are embedded into the head are super tiny, and they're actually ombre. They're like a nice orange ombre, because I had told Stephanie like I told you guys, I love oranges, I love reds, I love greens, so we kind of incorporated that into this beetle. So the ombre on the head really helps just continue that like grandma glamour, like elegance to it. I love it. I also love that like the little pinchers are the actual loop that hold the charm onto the necklace. A boot. So of course I had to do a boot. I'm from Mexico. I've lived in Texas almost my whole life, so you know, we are boots all around here, and I love a good southern theme. So of course I had to do a boot charm. Cowboy stuff just always looks so good on jewelry. I love that we were able to make it really small, because again, I love cowboy stuff on jewelry, but I feel like sometimes if it's a little bit too big, it might come off a little bit costumey. So I love that we were able to make it really small and still get like motifs on there. There's a tulip on there and some hearts on there. Like it's actually engraved onto the boot, which is really nice. It's personally my favorite to wear. I wear it almost every single day just because it's like so dainty, and I feel like it goes with everything. So along with each charm, I also created all of the artwork that comes with this collection. I created the outer mailer design. I also created a postcard, a unique postcard for every single charm. I wanted to make sure that the postcards matched with the charm. So for example, the peach got a peach postcard, the boot got a boot postcard, etc. And I also wanted it again to all match, use all the same colors, get all the same vibe, and encompass all the ways that I like to explore with my art style with these postcards. Each charm gets its respective postcard, so if you do get like the dagger charm, you will get the dagger postcard or little print, which I think is really nice. And something that we wanted to do with this collection as well was do a freebie sticker. So I made a sticker specifically for this collection, and for the first 50 orders, you will get the exclusive freebie sticker. I won't be putting it out anywhere else. I wanted to make it just for Keston. And this aspect was really where I got to like fully go all out. I came up with all the sketches and I immediately got to work with these postcards, and I put a lot of love into them, so I hope you guys like them. So yeah, that is my jewelry collection with Keston. That was the whole process, and I wanted you guys to see what it was like to collaborate with a brand, with another artistic brand, and see like the sampling process and just how much energy we put into this collection. If you are interested in the charms or the collection, I'll have the link down below. The holidays are coming up. These make really beautiful gifts. I think the price point is absolutely perfect for gifts. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope this was informative, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.